From the official Batavia Muckdogs Post Game studios, this is the official Batavia Muckdogs Post Game show. Straight ahead, you'll hear interviews, reaction, instant analysis, scores around the league, highlights of the game, and so much more covering your Batavia Muckdogs. John Gruba is the host, and the Muckdogs Post Game show starts right now. Good evening once again, folks, and welcome into this edition of the Batavia Muckdogs postgame show. I'm John Gruba, and yet another day, another home game, another victory for your Muckdogs at home, shutting out the Niagara Power 5-0. And while Batavia was opportunistic, the bigger story in this game has to be not only the terrific defense played by Batavia in this one, but the big pitches at crucial situations. Remember, Niagara out-hit Batavia almost 2-1 in this game, 13-7. However, they had the bases loaded 3 times with less than 2 outs, and Niagara didn't score a run. Meanwhile, Batavia was very good with runners in scoring position, and Niagara made a costly error that allowed 2 runs to score. And in a game this close between 2 pretty evenly matched teams, that ended up being the difference. Let's take you through the highlights and show you how your Muckdogs won at Dwyer yet again. And as always, the game highlights proudly presented to you by the Batavia Muckdogs Baseball Network. It'll be an 0-1 on its way from Morris. Swung on. This could give him the lead. It gets down into left center field for a base hit. Carl bobbles it. 1 run's going to score easily. Bacon to third, although going for seconds. Lead them, and they get him by about a half mile. And that'll do it for the inning. That was an alert play that time by the third baseman as Fairbrother turned and just whipped it to second. A perfect throw to get the last out, but it's still an RBI single for Leadham, his 5th ribby of the year. And as we go to the third, Batavia 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on. Let's take it to the third. Our score after 2, Batavia 1, Niagara no score. Now he comes set. It'll be a 2-0 home to Canoe. Fry off second. Pitch swung on. Hit in the air to left center. That'll drop in for a base hit. They're going to send Fry home. He will score standing up. That time is the throw cut off by the third baseman Fairbrother. And that's how you pick up a teammate, as scoring is Fry. RBI single for Canoe, who does it again. RBI 14 on the season. Bottom of the third, Batavia doubles their lead. It's your Muckdogs 2, Niagara no score. Morris ready to go. The 0-1 swung on, hit on the ground sharply to short, fields it nicely, throw to second, got by him! It's going to go into right field. 1 run scores down the right field line. 2 runs are going to come to the plate, and moving all the way to third on that is Bello. And now Batavia has doubled their lead once more. It's now Batavia 4 and Niagara a goose egg. 1-1 swung on, hit in the air. This might get the job done. Shallow right fielder is there to make the catch. The runner coming from third. Throw, it gets away from the catcher as it went up the first base line. So it's going to be a sacrifice fly as Aguila comes in to score. And in the bottom of the 5th, Batavia adds another. Now up 5-0 over Niagara. Next pitch, this could do it. Ground ball, Pichardo, left side of the infield, takes it himself, steps on first, and Batavia fans, do you believe this? Your Muckdogs, another day, another home game, another victory. They shut out Niagara tonight. Your final score, the Batavia Muckdogs 5 and the Niagara Power no score. Another thrilling home win for your Batavia Muckdogs, and you could tell in speaking with some of the players how much this team really enjoys playing at Dwyer Stadium in front of a packed house night after night. They continue to come through and find different ways to win, and tonight was no exception. So, what did the players and Skip have to say about this 5-0 win over Niagara as they're now 9-2 on the season? Well, let's find out by taking a tour through the clubhouse. Again, as always, presented to you by the Batavia Muckdogs Baseball Network.
You know, they're just pitching to contact, letting our defense work, and it's working out. We got fortunate there, got up a couple jams, and I mean that's what good teams do, and my guys are doing it, and we're pretty proud of those guys.
Another day, another win here at Dwyer, and a shutout in this one. Despite the fact they got 13 hits, you guys were able to keep them off the board. A win, but you're 2-1 now against Niagara. You're really beating a lot of your divisional rivals, really taking care of business. Mm-hmm. What do you think that means to this team going forward in terms of confidence?
They're a pretty confident bunch right now. They're playing with a lot of conviction, playing with a lot of determination and grit, and the fact that they're beating teams in the division, it just says a lot. They're determined. They're a determined bunch, and these guys are coming out here and grinding every day, grinding at bats, grinding on the mound, and it shows. And the results are there. So these guys are just going to work every day. We like it.
And 5 runs tonight, a good offensive performance. Now you guys have had a ton of double-digit hours, but again, you get a win when your offense just does enough. And what do you think that says about your lineup? Even when on their not maybe their greatest day, they still find a way to put up a decent amount on the board, more than enough to get it done.
Yeah, again, those guys, I've been saying this so far, 11 games into the season. They are just continuously grinding out at bats. And it's really a really good thing to see. And they're just coming through and grinding out at bats. And we're, it's timely hitting again. And that's where we're at right now. We're 9-2, leading the division. And the guys, I can't ask for more than what they're doing right now.
And final thing, another win, and you guys are 9-2 now. That's a pretty good. Not only is that a very good record, this is certainly more than just a sample size. Now, what do you think of your club, and where do you think this team is right now? 11 games in with a 9-2 record.
I think we're playing well. I just don't think we're clicking on all cylinders yet, and that could be scary. But I just think we're playing good baseball. We're pitching well, timely hitting, and we still got to get a couple guys going. And I think when it clicks a little bit, I think we'll be a little bit more dangerous. So it's a good sign for us to be where we're at right now.
And lastly, you got a doubleheader Wednesday against Watertown. What are your thoughts heading into that one?
Handle business. Like what we do. That's our motto this season is handle business. So coming into Wednesday, it's one game at a time, one pitch at a time, one bat at a time. Handle our business, and these guys are prepared to just come out here and play well.
Coach, thank you very much for the time. Congrats on the win and the 9-2 start to your season, undefeated Dwyer. Go Muckdogs.
Thank you, man. Thanks for having me. Go Muckdogs. Happy birthday, Elijah. I love you. Daddy loves you.
Here with Josh Leadham following a big 5-0 home victory against the Niagara Power. And Josh, you had what turned out to be the game-winning RBI now. We've seen you play defense and the great plays you can make out there. But how nice does it feel to contribute on the offensive side of the ball?
Yeah, today I was finally able to get the swing, feeling a little bit better today at the plate. I was barreling up balls well. I got a first pitch fastball right in the zone, and he came back again, and I was on time with it and was able to drive in a single.
So now you guys are 9-2. You continue. You have not lost a game here at Dwyer, and this is more than a small sample size now. It's 11 games in. How are you and the team feeling being 9-2 now as you continue to polish off division opponents?
Yeah, we really got something special going here. We have a great team camaraderie. We're able to come together and hit when it counts and play defense behind our pitchers. When we need to turn a double play with the bases loaded, we're able to do that.
And as far as the offense, we've seen the explosive outputs you guys have produced. Tonight, it was 5 runs, which is still a good offensive showing. Even when your offense isn't having maybe its greatest game, how encouraging is it that you can still put up more than enough to get it done?
Yeah, definitely. We always do what it takes to get the win. This team is loaded with talent top to bottom of the lineup, and even when we're not getting hits, we're always hitting the ball pretty hard, forcing the defense to make plays. So.
And then as far as pitching goes, Niagara had a couple bases loaded opportunities here, and your guys just continued to make the pitch and get out of jams time and time again. Playing defense behind them, how much fun is it, and what's going through your guys' mind when they get out of those jams and hold the lead?
Yeah, that was huge. It's such a momentum swing when we can load up the bases and get out with no outs or 1 out with a double play ball. Pitchers pitching to contact and not walking hitters and keeping the defense engaged behind them is always a plus.
And final thing, you guys have a stretch of home games coming up here, and you got a doubleheader coming up against Watertown. So what are your thoughts going into that one on Wednesday?
Yeah, I mean, we got a day off tomorrow, and we'll try to rest up and keep the momentum going into this doubleheader and homestand, and hopefully we can get that record up to 11-2 on Wednesday.
And with that, thank you very much, Josh. Appreciate the time, and congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Here with Daniel Burroway, who was very good on defense tonight in the 5-0 win against Niagara. And Daniel, just want to start. First off, you had 5 putouts tonight. Overall, what did you think of your pitching staff out there? They got in trouble several times, but they made the big pitches when they had to and held Niagara scoreless.
Never really worried. Just trying to get the big pitches when we need them and make the big plays when we need them as well. Keeping runners out of scoring position and keeping runners off the plate as much as you can. That's all you can do.
And you guys put up 5 runs tonight. You know, this offense, we know how dynamic it's been, several double-digit outings. Tonight, still a good game. How encouraging as an offense is it when maybe your team doesn't have the best offensive day, but you still put up more than enough to get the job done?
I think it's always good when you have your maybe like a B day, not exactly on, and you can still find a way to scratch a win in the books.
And as far as you guys now 11 games in, first of all, you guys remain undefeated at Dwyer Stadium. What do you think it is about playing here that makes the team just play at almost another level?
I think it's just the energy and the fans and the energy that they bring as well. I mean, it just keeps us going and makes us want to stay undefeated as much as we can.
And as far as, now you're 9-2. That's not a small sample size anymore. You keep beating the divisional opponents. How important do you think that is as we go in towards the dog days of summer here?
I think it's big, especially in this league. Being here last year, July can be a big struggle. It's definitely a grind once you get to July. You have the big, you can have a 2-week span where you're playing every day. So getting wins early like this is very big for the end of the season.
And as far as, defensively, early on in the season, kind of had a few struggles with it as far as the team overall. But now you guys have really zipped it up and really tightened it up. What do you think the biggest factor is to why you guys have been able to turn it around defensively?
I don't think we were really ever worried. I think we were just – I think we had a few kinks, and then the team's just bonded, and we've been riding it out ever since.
And confidence of this team after going 9-2 through the first 11 games?
Very big. It's always nice to get 9 wins and only 2 losses. You're trying to stay in that win column as much as you can and stay out of that loss column as much as you can, trying to get the 10th Wednesday.
And speaking of Wednesday, it's a doubleheader. First time you're seeing Watertown this season. Thoughts going into that matchup?
Just continue to do what we do, throw strikes, play good defense, and hit the ball as much as we can.
And with that, thank you very much, Daniel. I appreciate the time. Congrats on the win, and you played really well defensively tonight. Congrats.
Thank you.
Here with Brian Fry, who had an RBI in tonight's 5-0 win over Niagara. And Brian, first, congratulations on the win. You had an RBI as well in this game. And first of all, though, we have to talk about the pitching. They kept getting themselves into jams, but every time they would find a way to make a pitch get out of it. Playing on defense, what's going through your head when you see them keep making big pitches time and time again?
When you see your pitchers struggling a little bit, getting guys on base early, you really just kind of got to focus in and know that if the ball hits you, make them a play, because that can just change the whole swing of how they're feeling. If they're confident in their fielders, they're not afraid to throw it over the plate, and they're not feeling like they got to strike everybody out.
And you guys, with this 5-0 win, you're now 9-2 on the season. And in addition to that, you're still undefeated here at home. And this is not a small sample size anymore. You guys continue to win against key divisional opponents. Where do you think this team is at now, 11 games into the season, as we head into the dog days of summer?
I think we're in a really good spot. We're trying to be the first team to 10 wins in the division, which I think we can achieve that easily. I feel like we're still rolling. Even the games we lost, we really feel like we won, except for the couple key mistakes that we shouldn't have made, but we still did. And if we just play clean baseball, we should keep this train going.
And what do you think it says as far as the offense? Now, we've seen how explosive you guys can be, and you in particular are usually right in the middle of it. Tonight you had a good showing, 5, not double digits, but still good. So what do you think as far as the offense? How does it feel when maybe you don't have your best night, but you still can put up more than enough runs to get it done on a nightly basis?
As an offense, we really just try to put hits together, put at-bats together, and that's usually how we get the runs across. Like, it's never just one swing that really breaks the game open. It's more keep coming at the pitcher, making them work, and then timely hits here and there.
And defensively, we know this team, you guys had a few issues early in the season. Not a big deal, but a couple. But you guys have been locked down on defense as of late. Again, tonight, no errors. What do you think the biggest factors are that have led to the turnaround defensively?
Really, it's just confidence fielding the ball. Like, there's a couple times where guys are a little hesitant, scared of hops or anything, and really we just got that out of our heads. Like, oh, if it hops up, oh well, but we're still going as hard as we can, trying to field it, trying to be clean with it.
And Daniel Burroway tonight, he had 5 putouts in the game. What did you think of him on defense?
Oh, he was tracking them down real well tonight. Anyway, he can move pretty well for a big guy, which is good to see.
And then Julian Pichardo came on to close it out. And, there was one out, there was a base runner out, it was a full count, could have really put himself in a bit of a jam, but he came and got that big out and then ended up closing out. As far as Julian goes, how do you think he was tonight?
Oh, Julian was great. I mean, he was pounding the zone. They had a bloop hit, and I can't remember what the other guy did to get on base, but really he was they weren't piecing balls up off of him. He was dotting the corners, and he was doing what Julian does.
And last thing, Brian, you guys going to have a big doubleheader here Wednesday. You're going to have a lot of home games. But you got doubleheader Wednesday against Watertown. Where do you think this team is at heading into those matchups?
Oh, I think we're in a really good spot right now. I feel like we're starting to finally really gel together as a team. Like, everybody in the clubhouse is all smiles, all jokes, and that's really the biggest part about this is team chemistry and coming together as a team.
Brian, thank you very much for the time. Congrats on the RBI and congrats on the victory and the hot 9-2 start to the season. Congrats. Thank you for the time.
Thank you.
Again, something special definitely brewing with this year's Muckdogs team. It seems like no matter what the obstacle is or whatever style they have to win, they're finding ways to do it, especially racking up the victories at home and especially inside their own division, and that is critical, especially when we get towards the dog days of summer and down the stretch in July. It's going to be critical that they have all these victories under their belt like they do now. And right now they're in a dogfight with Utica, who's 10-3, and Batavia, very impressive, 9-2. Before we wrap things up here for the night, just want to give you a tour around the Pgcbl. On this Monday evening, it was Boonville beating Amsterdam by a final count of 3-2. Utica all over Watertown, 9-0. So Utica improves to 10-3. And for Watertown, they are Batavia's next opponent, coming in on Wednesday night for a doubleheader. Game 1 at 5, Game 2 at 7:30. But boy, Watertown has had a rough go of it. They have lost 12 consecutive games after starting out 2-1. And now 2-13. And downstate, it was Elmira taking care of Auburn by a final count of 7-5. And with that, that's going to wrap up this edition of the official Batavia Muckdogs Post Game show. I am John Karuba. Thank you so much for tuning in. So again, our next broadcast for you is going to be coming up on Wednesday night. We're going to play 2 between the Batavia Muckdogs and the Watertown Rapids. But until then, Game 1 starts at 5, Game 2, 7:30. Until then, for all of us here at Dwyer Stadium, this is John Karuba signing off. Again, one more time, your final score tonight, Batavia emerging victorious. It was your Muckdogs 5 and the Niagara Power no score. Thank you for listening to today's presentation of Batavia Muckdogs Baseball and this edition of the Batavia Muckdogs Post Game show. Tune into the next exciting telecast to catch everything exciting with your Muckdogs on the Batavia Muckdogs Baseball Network.